Have you ever felt like your faith is slipping through your fingers like sand, no matter how tightly you grip it? Psalm 27 hits you like a lightning bolt, a secret weapon God hands you to stand firm when life shakes you to your core. You open that chapter, and David's words leap off the page, raw and fearless, as if he's shouting directly to your soul. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? That question isn't just poetry. It's a challenge to your trembling heart. When doubts creep in, when the enemy whispers lies about your worth, Psalm 27 reminds you that fear has no claim on you because God himself is your shield. Think about it. David wrote this while running from Saul, his life hanging by a thread. Yet he didn't cower. He declared God as his stronghold, his unshakable refuge. You're facing your own battles, maybe not a spear-throwing king, but bills piling up, relationships crumbling, or that hidden sin you can't seem to shake. Psalm 27 says your faith grows when you see God as bigger than your problems. Romans 8 verse 31 echoes this. If God is for us, who can be against us? But there's more. This psalm pulls you into a hidden truth. Waiting on God isn't passive. It's a bold act of trust. David says, wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart. That waiting isn't twiddling your thumbs. It's you planting your feet, refusing to run from the storm because you know God's timing is perfect. You might feel stuck, wondering why your prayers haven't been answered, but Psalm 27 whispers a warning. Rushing ahead of God weakens you, while trusting his pace builds your faith like iron. And here's the shocking part. David craved God's presence more than his own safety. One thing I ask, to dwell in the house of the Lord all my days. Imagine that. Your world is falling apart, yet your deepest desire is to be near God, to see his beauty. That hunger transforms you. It shifts your focus from your chaos to his glory. And suddenly, your faith isn't just surviving, it's thriving. Hebrews 11 verse 6 backs this. Without faith, it's impossible to please God, but those who seek him are rewarded. Psalm 27 also exposes a secret struggle. You often want control more than you want God. When you read, though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. You realize David's faith didn't come from seeing the outcome, but from knowing the one who holds it. You're tempted to fix everything yourself, to map out your life. But this psalm slaps you awake. Faith grows when you surrender your plans to God. Isaiah 55 verse 8 reminds you, his ways are higher than yours. Finally, Psalm 27 dares you to live boldly. David ends with, I remain confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord. That confidence isn't fake bravado. It's rooted in God's promises. Your faith strengthens when you choose to believe God's goodness is coming, even when you can't see it. So here's the challenge. Read Psalm 27 every day for a week. Let it sink into your bones. Stop running from your fears. Stop chasing control and start chasing God. Your faith won't just grow, it will roar. You're staring into the abyss of doubt, wondering if your faith can hold up against the chaos of life. And Psalm 27 grabs you by the heart, refusing to let you slip away. David's words are like a divine anchor, not just comforting, but commanding you to stand firm. You think faith is about warm feelings or easy answers, but this psalm unveils a hidden truth. It's about choosing God when every instinct screams to run. When David declares, the Lord is the stronghold of my life, of whom shall I be afraid? He's not just talking tough. He's showing you how to plant your feet in God's unshakable power when fear feels like it's drowning you. You know those nights when worry keeps you awake, when you question if God even sees your pain. Psalm 27 doesn't dodge that. It meets you in the rawness of your struggle and says, God is your fortress, even when you feel like you're falling apart. Philippians 4 verses 6 to 7 presses this home, telling you to pray through your anxiety and let God's peace guard your mind. But here's the deeper cut. Faith isn't just about holding on. It's about chasing God with fire in your soul. David didn't just take shelter in God's presence. He hungered for it, saying, my heart says of you, seek his face. You're tempted to chase quick fixes, answers, or distractions, but Psalm 27 flips the script. Your faith grows when you crave God himself more than his handouts. That shift is earth-shaking. It means you stop pleading for an escape and start yearning for God's nearness, his truth, his glory. Matthew 6 verse 33 drives this point. Seek first his kingdom, and all these things will be given to you. Now, here is a warning that stings. Psalm 27 exposes how often you lean on your own plans instead of God's promises. When David says, "Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me," he's laying bare a brutal truth. Every human support can fail you, but God never will. You might be clinging to relationships, careers, or your own clever ideas, thinking they'll save you, but this psalm forces you to confront reality. Only God is your true anchor. That truth strengthens your faith by stripping away your false securities. Psalm 46 verse 1 reinforces this. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. And don't miss the boldness in David's prayer. Teach me your way, Lord, lead me in a straight path. He's not mumbling weak requests. He's praying with audacity, believing God is listening. Your faith grows when you pray like you trust God is moving, even when the answers feel miles away. But there's more. Psalm 27 challenges you to rethink waiting. You hate delays, don't you? You want God to act now, to fix your mess, to answer your cries. Yet David says, wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart. That waiting isn't passive. It's active trust, a refusal to give up because you know God's timing is perfect. Lamentations 3 verse 26 whispers, "It is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord." When you rush ahead, you stumble. But when you wait on God, your faith becomes like steel, forged in the heat of patience. And here is a secret. Psalm 27 reveals that faith thrives in surrender. You want control, to map out every step. But David shows you that true strength comes from letting go. When he says, "Though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear," he's not boasting about his courage. He's banking on God's faithfulness. Isaiah 41 verse 10 echoes this. "Do not fear, for I am with you." Your faith grows when you stop wrestling for control and start resting in God's sovereignty. So keep Psalm 27 close. Let it burn through your doubts like fire. Choose to seek God over your fears, over your plans, over your pain. Your faith isn't a fragile thread, it's a fortress, and Psalm 27 is the blueprint to build it. You've been battered by life, feeling like your faith is hanging by a thread. But Psalm 27 is like a divine rope, pulling you back from the edge with a strength you didn't know you could find. It's not just a poem, it's God speaking through David, showing you how to rise when everything around you is falling. When you read, "When the wicked advance against me, devour me, it is my enemies and my foes who will stumble and fall," it hits you. Faith isn't about your power, it's about God's victory. You're not alone in your battles. Even when the weight of your struggles feels crushing, those secret sins, those quiet fears, those moments no one else sees, they're not yours to defeat, they're God's to overcome. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9 drives this home. My power is made perfect in weakness. That truth shakes you awake. Your faith grows when you stop playing the hero and let God fight for you. But here is the hidden treasure in Psalm 27. It teaches you to worship right in the heart of the storm. David says, "I will sing and make music to the Lord, not when the sky is clear, but when the winds are howling." You might think worship is the good days when life feels easy, but this psalm drops a shocking truth. Praising God in the chaos builds your faith faster than any miracle. When you choose to sing, to lift your heart in gratitude instead of despair, something shifts deep inside. Colossians 3 verse 16 urges you, sing psalms with gratitude in your heart. That act of worship rewires your soul, turning your fear into trust. Now, here is a warning that cuts deep. Psalm 27 exposes your impatience, your need for instant answers. You want God to move now, to fix your pain, to make sense of the mess. But David says, "I remain confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living." That confidence wasn't born from seeing results. It came from trusting God's timing. Your faith stumbles when you demand God hurry up, but it soars when you cling to his promises through the waiting. Lamentations 3 verse 25 says, "The Lord is good to those who wait for him." And don't miss this. Psalm 27 calls you to a raw, relentless pursuit of God. David didn't just want safety. He wanted God himself, saying, "Your face, Lord, I will seek." That hunger for God's presence is a fuel for unshakable faith. You're distracted by your problems, your plans, your pain, but this psalm redirects you. Chase God, and everything else falls into place. John 15 verse 5 reminds you, apart from me, you can do nothing. But there's more. Psalm 27 challenges you to live with bold expectation. David didn't just hope for God's goodness. He declared it, I will see it. That kind of faith isn't wishful thinking. It's rooted in God's unchanging character. You might feel like your life is a battlefield, but Psalm 27 says you can stand firm, not because you're strong, but because God is faithful. Hebrews 10 verse 23 echoes this. Hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promises faithful. So make Psalm 27 your anthem. Read it daily. Pray it fiercely. Live it boldly. Stop wrestling with your fears. Stop questioning God's timing. Stop chasing control. Run toward God with everything you got. Your faith will grow into a fortress, unmovable, built on the rock of his promises.